Hey guys, you're welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Jeffrey
And I am Jerry.
Together we most likely like to be called the MLW Brothers. There's an enormous rate of intimate partner homicide worldwide that increases by day. A once favorite person now turned into a worst enemy.
From hearing this, if we say that your relationship is killing you, yes, we do actually mean that your relationship is killing you. And so if you don't want to die and your life is precious to you, watch this video to the end. I assure you that your life will never be the same.
There are certain things that happens in a relationship, knowingly or unknowingly, that causes harm to us in the relationship. We are about to dive deep into all these things right now.
Yes, these things are mostly overlooked, but trust me, can be very, very, very serious and can be a lifesaver if you can watch and monitor these points that we're about to give you. And so with that out of the way, the first point that may be killing you in your relationship is atomic hoarding. So let me give you this analogy. Imagine holding this bottle of water. I don't think you really care about the weight of the water firsthand. But imagine holding it for about a couple of minutes, like let's say 30 minutes. You begin to notice that the weight is actually being weighty. And imagine holding it for a couple of hours, days. Now you can feel the magnitude of the volume of the water that you are holding.
Yeah, so like Jerry is saying, even though the content of the water remains the same, as you keep holding it for long hours and days, you begin to feel its impact by days, right? And so now replace the water with anything you hold in your relationship, like say an unfinished argument or your partner's reaction to certain things or anything at all you hold due to an interaction with your partner. Now, as time goes on, it could have been something that wasn't so important. But as you keep holding that thing, now it becomes so heavy in your heart until a point where it has to explode.
The point is atomic because it starts very small. Now it can be as very little, as Jeffrey said. Sometimes it can be overlooked because you feel like it is very small. But these little things compound. It becomes plenty and now becomes very harmful to your health and to your life.
So these atomic hoardings really compounds and cause certain things like heart pains. Sometimes you are there because you've compounded a lot of things in you. You can feel that you are feeling certain things anytime a thought of your partner occurs to you. You realize you feel that heart pain, right? That sharp feeling. I know you are feeling it right now, yeah, right? So these things are as a result of compounding all that little things we fail to communicate.
I've been in a relationship for 5 years and I know that this really happens in a relationship. Now, what really is the cause of these hoardings? I think the first thing is that you're keeping it to yourself. Now, that is the one of the most important reason why these things happen. Why don't you share with your friends? Share with your family. Sometimes that's why people have therapists. And so keeping it to yourself is the one big problem that we are facing.
And I think people only do that because sometimes they tend to overlook it because they were like, it's not something to keep so much attention over. And sometimes it's also not worthy of complaint. Sometimes you feel like it's something so small. Why should you complain about that? Especially when it happened for the first time.
There's another thing. There's this first time euphoria, meeting this person for the first time. And so you feel like, the love is there. And so something has come up and you are ignoring it. I faced this a couple of times in my previous relationship. Because of this first love euphoria, you tend to overlook a good number of things that are actually eating you up. And so one thing that you want to really help you in avoiding the atomic hoarding is that you communicate all red flags. Every red flag that you see firsthand, let your partner know, I don't like the way you did this, I don't like the way you did that. Let the person know firsthand before it can cause any other trouble.
Yeah, and sometimes there are certain things you previously enjoyed doing, but at some point you realize midway through the relationship, you no more enjoy it because you are keeping it to yourself and you despise that thing you are doing. It automatically causes you to hoard all that thing again, especially with ladies. When they enter into a new relationship, they want to take on all the responsibilities. Anytime a guy wants to do something, they're like, no, I'm the lady, let me do this. I'm the lady, I'm the one that has to wash your clothes.
Yeah.
I'm the one that has to cook all your meals. I don't want to see you in the kitchen. Don't clean your utensils after eating. I want to be doing all that thing. And at a point, midway through the relationship, or especially when you get married, you realize all those things are something you don't like doing any longer. Tell the person.
Yes, you did that all out of love, and so don't worry if you are going back saying that you don't feel it anymore. I think from now you know that the disadvantage outweighs all the benefit that you thought you were getting. You feel me? Yeah. And so we leave you with this quote. I hope that you write it down as always. That is, holding grudges is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
And so the second thing in your relationship that may be killing you is financial overload.
Have you been in a relationship where every call that comes means cash out?
I think what that happens is it makes the relationship feel like a transactional relationship instead of a romantic relationship. Imagine being with someone and every call that came was about money. Oh, that would be unbearable.
Indeed. What are the causes? I mean, there are some things that we do that really cause these things to happen because it doesn't happen in every relationship. Of course, it does in the majority of the relationship. But because it doesn't happen in every relationship, it means that there is something that we are doing wrong that is causing this.
Yeah, I think some of the causes of some of these financial overload is, again, the first love euphoria.
And you want to impress this girl, you want to impress this boy, and so because of that, you are always taking out your money, you are becoming someone you are not. If this doesn't kill you, I don't know what will.
Yeah, and also, there's that impersonation thing guys want to be doing because you've met this girl for the first time. You feel like you have to be something you are not. You need to appear as though you are this and all of that. Unfortunately, makes the relationship turn into a transactional one.
Many people also do that because they want to maintain their partner. Because they started that way, they can't stop because they have become an expectation because of something they did previously. And they want to keep on doing that so that other guys or other girls don't steal them from them.
And so how does this kill you in your relationship, this financial overload thing? I think it kills you because, unfortunately, as a guy, we just want to generalize it as, guys being the one at the end bit of this thing, right? Unfortunately, as a guy, what that means is you spend all your seed on a girl, and that means that your harvesting time, you're going to suffer.
Yes. And also, you are building your partner to become a expander. Wow, do you know what that means? It means that you produce a liability. A liability means that you will be taking your money every day, every now and then. Of course, it can give you so many trouble. And of course, it also creates tension and resentment, which we don't want for you. And so it will do you a lot of good. Early on in the relationship, don't become someone you are not. I know people say that their love language is giving gift. Please, you are not done with it. Until you get there, chill, relax.
And so how do you stop all these things from happening? I think you do that by one, stop impersonation. Don't appear to be someone you are not. Appear as you are. Don't fake anything, alright?
Ladies, don't make it all about money. You are just young. And because you've not worked for money, you just spend it anyhow. Please don't do that.
And so the third and probably the most important thing happening in your relationship that is killing you and not talked about enough is sexual suicide.
Yeah, I think the name goes with itself. You are killing yourself through sex. This point is really going to save a lot of people's life, and so please listen to this very carefully.
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about sex. Me and Jerry would like to clarify right now. Yeah. We had some time to do a little bit of research into these things, and for about a good number of points about to list is from research that has been done by a renowned doctor called Dr. Emily, who is an expert in sex. And this is what she has to say.
So one thing that you have to know is that you are responsible for your own sex pleasure, not the other person. And many people get this wrong. They feel like it is the responsibility of their partner to make them feel good, to make them get their orgasm, but it is the other way around, which is you are responsible for your own sex pleasure.
There are some certain causes that holds people back during sex, unfortunately leaves them with that unsatisfaction. And these 3 points are that the stress people go through unfortunately holds them back. There's trauma, people undergo certain trauma, and then there is the shame. And the stress is that we all have this busy day-to-day schedules, right? And unfortunately it makes us tired, and so when we are ready to have sex, then we are unfortunately not in the mood, right? I know a couple that I had a story once. A couple planned to have this sex tonight, and immediately they went into the room. One decided to go and take a shower, and when she came back, she saw the partner fast asleep on the bed.
Some of you have gone through a lot of things and has caused some trauma because of some people, they were raped, some people they were assaulted beating. Good, that's very good. You know, some people say they like it when you are crashing my neck and all of this. So these little things, some cause trauma that wouldn't really in the long run make you get the pleasure that you need to have in sex.
And so going into sex as a guy, these things are all not in your control. If someone is undergoing trauma, there's no way you're going to give this person a sexual satisfaction if you are not aware of all these things, right? And so there's also the shame about sex. Some people are not comfortable in certain positions. They are not comfortable in their own skin being, they feel fat, they feel too slim and all of that. And so they themselves are condemning themselves and giving themselves a certain mindset coming into the sex. How are you going to satisfy such a person? And so when we say that you are responsible for your own sexual pleasure, I think we may have a point.
These guys these days want to have sex for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I think that's one misconception about sex, because there's a statistic that 80% of ladies don't really get the orgasm through penetration. And so with that in mind, know that penetration is just one way to get a lady to reach her orgasm.
The vulva is one of the most sensitive parts of the vagina for most vulva owners, for most ladies, right? And so most of the magic sometimes has to be around that side, and not only about the penetration. As Jerry said, only 20% of ladies reach orgasm by penetration. And so with the aphrodisiacs, it's a no-go zone. It's a really no-go zone, because really, if you want the health hazard from this, we can list a good number of them. And I think deep down you know that what you are doing is not just destroying your heart and your blood pressure. It can go a long way to terminate your life.
Yeah, I know, guys, we've all been in that position where we want to please this lady so much
that we all take in a little something. But unfortunately, it doesn't help. We know that in the long run, it will mess with us as men. And so I think we and Jay are advocating on this a lot, to stay away from some of these things to keep your health intact. So don't let these things in your relationship kill you. Like you all know, we are not experts in any way about some of these things. These are all generalizations we've seen around, and we just want to share our thoughts on that.
So we leave you with a quotation that I think you should also write down, coming from Proverbs chapter 31 verse 3.
Which says, don't spend all your energy on sex and don't spend all your money on a lady.
They have destroyed kings.
There you have it. Don't die because of a lady, right?
So all what we said, I think what will really help you is that communication should be clear with both partners. Make communication clear, what you like, what you don't like. And with this clarity, I think it will go a lot of ways to saving both of our lives.
Until next week, I guess, we're going to be bye for now.